morning.
Morning.
Today is Wednesday, April 29th.
Wednesday, April 29th.
And we'll be reading Judges 18 and 19.
All right. There's your smile. Gabriel, you ready? All right. Yes. Cheerful disposition. Oh, a cheerful disposition from you, Catherine. And we're reading 18 and 19. All right. And you're reading your Bible?
Oh,
I see it. Good.
You know how Bible we reading?
All right.
Alright. The Danites settled in Laish. In those days there was no king in Israel, and in those days the tribe of the Danites was looking for an inheritance in which to live, for no territory had come into their possession among the tribes of Israel up to that time. So the children of Dan set out from their families 5 valorous men from Zorah and Eshtaol in order to spy out and explore the land. They said to them, "Go, explore the land." They came to the hill country of Ephraim, to the house of Micah, and they spent the night there. When they were at the house of Micah, they noticed the speech of the young Levite. They turned aside and said to him, "Who brought you here? What are you doing in this place? What is your business here?" He told them what Micah had done for him, saying, "He hired me, and I became his priest." They said to him, "Please ask God if we may know whether our mission will be a success as we go do it." The priest said to him, "Go in peace. The Lord is watching the way you are going." The 5 men went away and came to Laish. They saw the people who were there living securely according to the culture of the Sidonians. There were no rulers in the land who might put them to shame for anything. They were far from the Sidonians and had no ties with anyone. When they came back to their brothers in Zorah and Eshtaol, their brothers asked them, "What do you have to say?" They said, "Get up, let us go up against them. For we have seen the land, it is very good. You are silent, but do not hesitate to go to take the land. When you go, you will come to a secure people and to an expansive land. For God has given it into your hands, a place where there is no lack of anything on the earth." So 600 fully armed men set out from the family of the Danites from Zorah and Eshtaol. They went up and set up camp in Kiriath Jearim in Judah. Therefore they called the place Mahanadan to this day. It is west of Kiriath Jearim. From there they passed the hill country of the Ephraim and came to the house of Micah. The 5 men who went to spy out the land of Laish said to their brothers, "Did you know that in these houses are an ephod, household idols, a carved image, and a metal idol? Now think about what to do." So that they turned aside there and came to the house of the young Levite, to the house of Micah, and greeted him. 600 men armed with their weapons of war, who were the children of Dan, stood at the entrance to the gate. The 5 men who went to spy out the land went in and took the carved idol, ephod, household items, and the metal idol. The priest was standing at the entrance to the gate with the 600 fully armed men. When these men went into the house of Micah and took the carved idol, ephod, household idols, and the metal idol, the priest said to them, "What are you doing?" They said to them, "Quiet, put your hand over your mouth, and go with us. Be a father and a priest for us. It is better to be a priest for one man's house or for a tribe and a family in Israel." So the priest's heart was glad. He took the ephod, the household idols, and the carved image, and went among the people. So they turned and left, putting the children, livestock, and valuables in front of them. They had gone far from the house of Micah, but the neighbors of Micah assembled and caught up to the children of Dan. They called out to the children of Dan. So they turned and said to Micah, "What is wrong that you have assembled together?" He said, "You took the gods that I made and the priests, and then you left. What do I have left? So what is this that you say to me? What is wrong?" The children of Dan said to him, "Do not let us hear your voice again, otherwise bitter men might greet you, and you will forfeit your life and the lives of your family." So the children of Dan went their way, And when Micah saw that they were too strong for them, he turned and went back to his house. They took what Micah had made and his priests and came to Laish, to a quiet and secure people. They struck them down with the edge of the sword and burned the city with fire. There was no one to save them, because the city was far from Sidon and had no contact with anyone. It was in the valley of Beth Rehob. They rebuilt the city and lived there. They called the city Dan, after their father Dan, who was born to Israel. Laish was a former name of the city. The children of Dan set up the carved idols for themselves. Jonathan, the son of Gershon, the son of Manasseh, and his sons were priests of the tribe of Dan, until the time of exile from the land. So they displayed Micah's graven image that he had made for the whole time that the house of God was in Shiloh. A Levite and his concubine. In those days, when there was no king in Israel, there was a certain Levite living as a resident foreigner in a remote part of the hill country of Ephraim. He took a concubine for himself from Bethlehem in Judah. Yet his concubine became angry with him and went away from him to her father's house. At Bethlehem in Judah, she was there for 4 months. Her husband got up and went after her in order to speak tenderly to her and bring her back. His servant and 2 donkeys were with him. Yet when he came to her father's house, the girl's father saw him and was happy to meet with him. His father-in-law and the girl's father prevailed upon him to stay with them for 3 days. So they ate and drank and spent the night there. On the 4th day, they woke up early in the morning. He got ready to go, but the girl's father said to his son-in-law, "Strengthen yourself with a little food, and then you can go." So the 2 of them sat to eat and drink together. Then the girl's father said to the man, "Please spend the night and let your heart be merry." The man got up to go, but his father-in-law urged him until he turned back and spent the night there. He got up early in the morning on the 5th day to go. The girl's father said, "Please strengthen yourself and wait until later in the day." So the 2 of them ate. Then the man got up to go, he, his concubine, and his servant. His father-in-law, the girl's father, said to them, "Look, it's getting dark. Spend the night. Settle in and spend the night here. Let your heart be merry. You can get up early tomorrow and go home." Yet the man did not want to spend the night, so he got up and left and approached Jebus, that is Jerusalem. 2 saddled donkeys and his concubine were with him. When they were near Jebus, it was getting very late. The servant said to his master, "Come, let us turn aside to this Jebusite city and spend the night in it." His master said to him, "We must not turn aside to a city of foreigners who are not children of Israel. We will continue on to Gibeah." He said to his servant, "Come, let us go to one of these places. We will spend the night in Gibeah or Ramah." They continued and went on. The sun went down, and when they were near Gibeah and Benjamin, so they turned aside there to go and spent the night in Gibeah. They went in and sat at the city square, but no one took them in to spend the night. Just then an old man came in at evening time from his work in the field. The man was from the hill country of Ephraim and lived as a resident foreigner in Gibeah, but the townspeople were Benjamites. He looked up and saw the travelers in the city square. The old man said, "Where are you going, and where do you come from?" He said to them, We are traveling from Bethlehem to Judah, to a remote part of the hill country of Ephraim. I am from there. I went to Bethlehem in Judah, and now I am going to the house of the Lord. No one has taken me into his home. Yet there is enough straw and fodder for our donkeys, with bread and wine for me, your maidservant, and the young man who is with your servant. We do not lack anything." The old man said, "Do not worry, I will take care of whatever you need. Just do not spend the night in the city square." So he brought them into his house and gave food to his donkeys. They washed their feet, ate, and drank. While they were enjoying themselves, the men of the city, who were wicked men, surrounded the house and pounded on the door. They said to the old man, the master of the house, "Bring out the men who came to your house, so we can have relations with him." The master of the house went out to him and said, "No, my brothers, do not commit the evil act. Not after this man has come into my house. Do not commit this disgrace." Here are my virgin daughters and the man's concubine. Let me bring them out to you. Ravish with them and do to them what you please, but do not commit this vile act against this man. The men were unwilling to listen to him, so the man seized his concubine, brought her out to them in the street. They knew her and abused her all night until morning. As the dawn came to break, they let her go. The woman came back at daybreak and fell down at the door of the man's house, where her master was lying there until it was light. Her master got up in the morning and opened the doors of the house. He went out to go out of his way, but there was the woman, his concubine, fallen at the door of the house with her hands on the threshold. He said to her, "Get up, let us be going." But there was no answer, so the man put her on the donkey and went home. When he got home, he took a knife and seized his concubine, and then cut her body in 12 pieces. Then he sent her throughout all the territory of Israel. Everyone who saw this said, "Nothing like this has ever been done or seen since the day the children of Israel came out of the land of Egypt until today. Consider it, take counsel, and speak up."
Oh my.
And that's Judges 18 and 19.
Bye. Have a great day. Please subscribe. Hope you like this video. Please leave a like or a comment.
Thank you, Matthew. And Catherine and Josh
The little
fell
red
asleep.
button that says subscribe.
Josh.